In this video, hopefully a very quick video, I will explain process of actually creating research synthesis or a comparison of sources for research. This was completed as part of a semester-long research project, so it's going to be longer than yours, but it is basically the same concept. Again, this is a piece of a longer puzzle. At the beginning of your synthesis or your comparison of sources, you should have some brief introduction to the overall findings, the comparison of your sources. And so you'll notice in the sample that there is one paragraph that highlights some of what was found. This is her introduction or her overview of findings for this particular process of researching or comparing your sources. I'm just going to go through the first section here, but you'll notice that there are multiple sections. So you've got one section here that's a relatively short section, and then you have another section here that is much longer, and then there's another subtopic, perceptions about vaccination, followed by another one, possible solutions to the problem that's being addressed here. So going back to the first section, you'll notice that it is titled College Campuses and Germ Spreading. So their task was to identify issues relevant to WSU campus. And so she's starting from this general sense of college campuses and germ spreading. And so this is a logical first section of this. So she makes her topic sentence that kind of gives an overview of what was found. She goes into a little bit more in specifics of kind of the general findings. And then she jumps into the first source, Huang et al., from the Journal of American College Health. She summarizes what that source says, and then goes into a more specific statement or series of statements that are made in the article, and then goes into an even more specific statement of some specific example relevant to that. Now, notice you didn't put the page number for the quote, but that could be addressed easily in a revision. After that, she brings in the Huang et al. Source. She brings in another source directly that is also on this particular subtopic. So she's got Mon, and so she goes through, gives a summary of that, what that source says. She gives a more specific statement from that, and then she compares the two sources similarly to Wang 2018, Mon 2016 agrees, blah, 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 blah. And then in order to focus this more on the location at hand, she found a daily evergreen article from the WSU paper that talks about the situation at WSU. Then she provides commentary on what that source does and says and the limitations of that source. And then final statement of the overall takeaway from those articles that she was focusing on. And then she jumps into the next one, and you'll notice, again, it's much longer. It draws on a lot more research. You're only required 7, so you need to explain what you learned from all 7 sources, even if some of the sources weren't as relevant to you, to the argument that you would be making. You still have to explain what you learned from those sources and what that adds to your understanding of the topic in general. So this has just been a quick video to kind of show you an example. I will post this example into our Canvas site so that you can look at it in more detail. But I wanted to kind of go through very quickly and kind of go the highlights of the sample and what she's doing with it.